Because sometimes we touch someone, we breathe the air, we forget about all our struggles. We go out there and we look for better life, but we know that home is where the heart is. And we love Dominica, right? Sing it! Sing it! Everybody one, I go coming again now. They like long hair, but they don't want to work. They like long hair.
When we pass it, we just pass it. It's fast, we pass it, we just pass it. So let we take a jump up together, wake up together, drink up together, cause we not there forever, let me jump up.
Yes, so if you miss the White Sunset event, that is just a tip, a taste of what you missed for the White Sunset event that we had back in October during Dominica's Independence celebration. So guys coming in, we have another packed program for you. We are here with the president of the Dominica Civil Corps Alumni Association, DISA, organization that I'm a proud member of and also a media partner for. So we are here to do a little recap on the events in October. So come on in, share the live, let everyone know that we're here, post the comments, let us know where you're joining us from. If this is your first time on my platform, I am Simone Matthew, and here on Push Past 10, we're all about harnessing the power of technology, social media, international radio, and podcasts to leverage the expertise of our Dominican brothers and sisters from around the world. So guys, come on in. Don't forget to click the notification button so you will always know when we go live, and of course share the live as you're coming in. So we're very happy to be joined by Mr. Wayne Liburd, who is the president of DISA. So we have a lot to unpack this evening as we tell you about the highlights of the event. The event was a phenomenal success, and we want to begin by thanking everyone who allowed it to be such a success. And then, drum roll please, we're going to have the winner of the raffle, a $1,000 travel voucher to anywhere in the world. So guys, come on in. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for those who will watch this live, as well as everyone who will catch the replay. So Mr. President, how are you? Wayne Liburd, thank you for joining us.
I'm doing just fine. I'm doing great, especially after a very successful event in Dominica. I'm doing excellent. How are you doing, Simone?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't be better. Still have a little bit of a voice issue, but that is a work in progress. I'm coming along nicely. So, when I still have my GoPro, boy, I missed that White Sunset event. I wanted to come for that event and go back home, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't miss that one. It was excellent. And for those who missed it, hopefully you'll be there next year.
Yes, that is the plan. And I'm assuming next year will be even bigger and better, because from what we're hearing, next year is the 25th anniversary of World Creole Music Festival. So, we got to line up with what's going on with World Creole Festival and make it an even bigger event. How much bigger can we get, Wayne?
Well, we're limited by the capacity of Kaima Mamwe, and probably at a maximum, you can probably get 1,000 people in there. But obviously, we have entertainers, we have people who are working, you have sponsors. And we're really thankful to our sponsors this year. So generally, we think we can get 700-800 people, patrons supporting the event in there. We've expanded the space this year. We had an ocean deck. People love that. And that allowed us to even have more tables, more VIP tables in there, and a wider VIP area. Not only did we have the ocean area in addition to the ocean view area, in addition to the regular areas we've had, we have the pool deck, and then we had a VIP gardens that we added this year. And so we think we can get quite a bit more people in there. And but you have to get your tickets early. Tickets are at a premium because most likely it's going to sell out. Yeah.
Right. And of course, none of this is possible without our sponsors. So let me just go. I want to make sure we don't forget any of our sponsors this evening. So let me just go and run this.
Dominica. Silver
Oh,
Swan,
absolutely.
Big Edge Financials. Bronze sponsors, Fresh Market, Fine Foods Inc., Belfast Estate Limited, GBE Enterprise. Copper sponsors, Tropic Trading, American Canadian School of Medicine, Medicus Diagnostics, HHV Research and Company Limited, Unicomer Dominica Limited, Lindomart, King Ocean, Picard Innovation, Digestive Care. Marketing partners, DBS Radio, D-Blush Copy Center, Emo News, Dominica News Online, Push Past 10. Fundraising raffle partners, VF Inc., Jungle Bay Resort and Spa, Rosalie Bay Resort, Intercontinental Resort and Spa, Keeping It Real, Charlie's Courtyard, and Fortune Hotel. Thank you so much again, and we look forward to your continued patronage.
Yeah.
Very
So
nice.
when
I think our platinum sponsors got cut off quite a bit there, and so I
yeah.
want to say, yeah, Oyo Construction and Do It Center, or platinum sponsors, and we want to thank you for making this event possible. Without your support, we wouldn't have been able to have such a successful event.
Yeah. So when we don't do these events in a vacuum, of course we have the sponsors, but let us not forget everyone that we truly want to thank for being an active part and really getting this program, this event off and growing from strength to strength. Starting with maybe our coordinator, our event manager extraordinaire, Mr. Simeon Joseph. So go ahead and tell us about everyone we want to thank, and let me go ahead and share this program with the wider audience. So take it away, Win.
Yeah, first I want to thank our patrons for really supporting the event. We had many people at the event. People bought their tickets early this year. And you still had a few people you still had a few last minute people who bought their tickets at the door. But by far, we had more people buying their tickets early this year than ever before. We were sold out of the VIP tables very early, and we pretty much sold out of VIP, regular VIP tickets as well. But yeah, let me thank our event coordinator was Simeon Joseph. He did an excellent job. Kevin Laura, Dr. Kevin Laura did a great job on training we had some students who were basically doing event planning and coordination at the Dominica State College. We want to thank the Dominica State College, and we want to thank all the students who volunteered for the event that night. And so we had some 30 plus students who volunteered for that at that night, and they did an excellent job, and we want to thank them. I want to thank our reunion committee. We had some extraordinary people on our reunion committee, and we had many meetings during the week on Saturdays. And the reunion committee was tasked with putting up this event every year. And it's led by Mr. Paul Phillip, who is also a board member of the Dominica Civic Hall Alumni Association. And he did an outstanding job, as he's done in the last 2 years. But he's surpassed the efforts of last year and the year before in making this event an even bigger success than it was in the first 2 years. This is just our third year, and it's growing bigger and better and stronger. And for the 25th anniversary, we hope to do even better than we did before at Kaimamamwe. So lots and lots of people to thank. We want to thank our entertainers. They all did a great job. And we want to thank our guests of honor, gold medalist winner, triple jump winner, Thea Laffour. She made a grand entrance after the event started, and to great applause and acclaim from all of the patrons there. She was able to mingle and enjoy the event, and I think she wanted to stay there all night. But she had a good time, and hopefully you got a chance to meet her. And it was great. She reiterated how good a time she had, and that she would put all her efforts to help us with future events.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Wayne. And I recently did a program called the Fat Economy, the benefits that even beyond the how you call them, the sponsors receive from the event, but the ripple effect of the profits that reach the Dominica, the local Dominicans. So I thought we could talk a little bit about that this evening, because I think many times we hear a lot of people talk about, oh, every weekend is a fete, another SIWO, but uh, we have to keep focusing on the fact that a lot of Dominicans are reaping the economic benefits of this event. So let us just talk about some of the folks who may have benefited from this event. We talked about the location, Kaima Meme. Let's talk about maybe some of the vendors who potentially reap some benefits from this particular event.
Yeah, the Dominica Civic Alumni Association is, a small organization by many standards. And although we have a hardworking team who does quite a lot, every year we've had to hire more and more staff to make this event a success. So we had to hire more professional bartenders, more professional waiters. Obviously, the catering for the event, we had quite not only from the establishment there doing the catering, but we had additional caterers providing for the event. We had food being served for the people in general admission. So we had some vendors there. We have the bands, obviously, we're employing the bands, security. We had, for emergency situation there and first aid, we had people on standby in case that was needed. So we hired scores and scores of people for the event. And so it's a huge payout to all of these people. But we certainly thank them for the work that they did on that night, including cleaning up the location afterwards, getting it ready. A lot of construction, building out the deck. Granted, some of that was sponsored by our sponsors, but putting that all together was a huge effort. And we want to thank everyone involved. And certainly that helps the Dominican economy quite a bit.
Yeah. And the other thing we have to think of as well, Wayne, is that because of our event, and I'm going to brag and boast because I think we're doing a fantastic job. Because of our event, I think what we're seeing is people are coming into Dominica even earlier. Because I know for me, when I went last year, I insisted on getting there by Tuesday because I wanted to make sure that I was there in time for the White Sunset event. So White Sunset is becoming such a staple. So did you envision this? Did we envision the exponential growth of White Sunset when we started this 3 years ago?
Well, absolutely not. When we first started 3 years ago, our organization was still young. We were formed and we were doing things in the community, but you talk to the average person and they hadn't heard of Dominica Civic Alumni Association. So one of the goals to have an event in Dominica was to allow people to know of our association and what we're doing for Dominica. And I don't think anyone in the community envisioned how far-reaching it was. I ran into people who said, they made sure they had their outfit in their carry-on suitcase because they didn't want to get to Dominica and not have their white outfit with them.
I sure did.
And I myself, I packed. I had some stuff from the event, so I had 2 suitcases. I packed half of the stuff in one suitcase and half in the other, and only one suitcase made it to Dominica. So, when I arrived, 5 days later, I got the second suitcase. So people will, even the fashion, the style, White Sunset is really making its mark on Dominica, not the event, but, the fact that people get to dress up and go out and have a good time. And, some people say it's the event for grown folks. It's really the event for professional folks. A lot of working people get to mingle and so forth, meet people from the diaspora and locals, everybody having a good time. The majority, 2/3 of our attendants every year are in VIP. They don't have to worry about paying for their drink or for the food. All of that is provided, and hors d'oeuvres. And likewise, everybody coming, even general admission, everybody got a rum punch when they came in. Everybody got a cup. We had our signature fans this year. I know a lot of people had fans in the audience enjoying themselves. It just made for a great time, and we can see the influence of White Sunset on other activities in Dominica. People are trying to pick off little aspects of our event that they see that is very successful to having other events in Dominica. So it's not just the economic impact of our event. Our event is having an effect on other events that are also having great economic impact in Dominica.
Yeah, and you know what they say, imitation is the greatest form of flattery is the greatest form of imitation, right? So,
That's
the
correct.
fact that other people are picking up on the idea means that we are definitely doing something good and something positive. And as people will watch this program, I also want them to let us know if they attended the White Sunset event and what their feedback is. What did they enjoy? And one of the things I really like about our organization, Wayne, is the fact that we're so open to positive criticism, constructive criticism, and we took a lot of what we heard last year and we improved on it this year. So can you just tell us what is some of the feedback we're receiving about the event from the people who attended?
So last year, and in the year one, I got emails, I got texts from friends and associates on the things that they thought that were good and the things that they thought we could improve on. And we discussed them. We had meetings with several people who came to the event, some of our ambassadors, to give our feedback. And we try to incorporate it into this event. Because although this is the only charity event for the independent season, and dare I say the number one elegant event for the charity, for number one elegant charity event for the independent season, we still want to make sure everybody has a good time. And this year, the number one response that I got from everybody is that you guys listened. We had a great time. You made the changes that we talked about, and it was fun. We don't even have anything to complain about this year. So that was huge. Being critical ourselves, we still nitpicked at stuff and saw a couple areas where we can make some improvement that we're going to improve on next year. But we're certainly open to hearing the feedback from everybody. And we want to make sure that everybody had a good time, and so that we can repeat next year and fix the things that you probably didn't enjoy as much, and so that it's even a better time than you had this year.
Yeah, and if we were not already busy enough, Wayne, this year we decided we were going to take on the symposium. So I'm not sure what we were thinking, but I think we were trying to just maximize on the human resources that was descending on Dominica. So we invited folks in the medical, the healthcare field to join a symposium. So kind of tell us about that, because that too was a huge success, even being our very first symposium.
Yeah, so this was our first symposium, and together with the American Canadian School of Medicine and also the Dominica State College, we got 250 students from around the country, from all the high schools and the Dominica State College, onto the American Canadian School of Medicine campus in Portsmouth 2 days before the White Sunset event.
Crazy.
And so, yeah, all of these people were interested in science, medicine, basically interested in the medical field. And then we invited medical professionals, not only from Dominica, but outside of Dominica. And we want to thank them immensely, including obviously Canadian School of Medicine and the Dominica State College. And so we were able to have a panel discussion, and the young people there, the students, could ask questions of the medical professionals, get responses, they could mingle with them after. And then we had 24, 25 breakout sessions where they could go around. You had Jolly's Pharmacy, you had nurses, you had doctors of varying specialties. And, we even had the Minister of Finance there who addressed the students. in addition to other dignitaries, the president or chairperson or person in charge at the Dominica State College, and also from ASCOM. We also had one of the administrative people that addressed the students from ASCOM, one of the doctors. And so, I mean, it was huge. It was well received by the students. The students were enthusiastic. We provided meals for the students. So that was another way of us giving back, because the majority of the cost for that event, we had a few sponsors, but the majority of the cost for that event was undertaken by the Dominica Civical Alumni Association. And people are asking for more. We need to do it again. Yeah. So we hope to do it again, hopefully in a year or two. Since the Dominica State College, generally most students are there for 2 years. We figure if we do it at least every 2 years, then you get a fresh, set of students, new students there. So look for it again in 2 years from now. But it was well received. The first of the kind, the National Medical Youth Symposium. And we also want to thank the government, because obviously we had to get the students from all the schools bused to Portsmouth to be able to accommodate that. So obviously students had to leave school for that day, and then we had to bus them back to the various villages and towns after the event was held. But great reviews from that event as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anyone who's still not familiar with what Dominica Civical Alumni Association is, we are the official alumni association for the Dominica State College. So if you will recall, before it was called the Dominica State College, it was called the Sixth Form Community College, CFOCOL, or the Clifton Dupini Technical College. And once we start saying which one we attended, then we start aging ourselves, right, Wayne?
That is correct. So all of these institutions, the Dominica Technical College, the Dominica Teachers College, the nursing, the nursing school, Clifton Jubilee Community College, CFOCOL, as you know, Sixth Form College, all sort of merged under one umbrella to form the Dominica State College. And so if you attended any of these institutions, so when we first started, you had to be a graduate of one of these institutions to qualify to be a member of the Dominica Civical Alumni Association. And then some people approached us and said, after Hurricane David, they had to leave Dominica and finish their schooling elsewhere. So now the requirements is if you attended at least 1 year at any of these institutions, you can become a member of the Dominica Civical Alumni Association. And again, the official alumni association of the Dominica State College. And we try to do a lot for the Dominica State College, and a lot for students. That's some of our main focus. But in addition, we try to do a lot for Dominica in any way we see fit. So in the first year of White Sunset, we donated $10,000 to the Home for the Aged. And during the Community Day of Service, we went up there and we power washed the facilities and cleaned the facilities and so forth. And so for the people who are in our organization who are still on island, got together and made that happen, and that was excellent. In the second year, we were able to donate $10,000 to Operation Youth Quake. It's a home for troubled youth. And we really did $10,000 in supplies. So we went out and they gave us a long list of stuff that they needed: television, refrigerators, computers, what have you. And we went out and bought those things and donated that to Operation Youth Quake. I think that came up to above $10,000, probably $12,000, $13,000 is my recollection. And then we also gave $10,000 to the Dominica State College for children who were in financial difficulty. So the Dominica State College was able to identify 6 students, and we gave them all each $1,666.67, totaling $10,000. And we got letters from some of the students saying that our donation made it possible for them to continue going to the Dominica State College. Really heartfelt that we were able to make such a difference in the lives of the students. This year, we hope to do even more. This year, we had a more official way of selecting the beneficiaries for the event. We publicly put out an application, and so organizations, nonprofit organizations or individuals could apply to benefit from our event. We went through a selection process, which included, we got people from outside the organization to assist in making a decision on the finalists. And we have 2 people we have not announced yet. So I'm not going to announce tonight, but will be announced shortly. And in addition to that, we will also be making a donation to the Dominica State College, probably similar to what we did last year for students in financial difficulty, and to assist the students in completing their college. You know, a lot of what is involved, you really don't realize it. Students come from all over the island. They get bused every day down to the Dominica State College to take their classes. They have to get meals, and the cost of taking a bus every day gets expensive, and just some of the basic necessities. And that money that we donated, and we hope to round that up this year to $2,000 per student, it goes a long way in making it possible for them to continue their studies at the Dominica State College. And this is just one of the many things we have done for the Dominica State College. So when we had the weather trial, I think that was in last year, I think we donated some $7,000 to Dominica State College. You know, the St. Vincent and Grenadines, when you had the earthquake over there, we donated, I think, some $10,800 to the St. Vincent and Grenadines Community College. We did that in conjunction, by the way, with the Dominica State College. So that was our contribution to that donation. We are the biggest donor for the subject prizes. So every year for the last 3 years, we've given 12 plus subject prizes to the graduating students of the Dominica State College. These are students who excelled in their field of study, and we have done at least 12 prizes in each year. We've also given 5 scholarships to 1-year scholarships to students who attend in the various schools in Dominica, and among many other things. Oh, one of our big accomplishments was our donation to the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. So one of the reasons why this group started, one of our schoolmates was having dialysis and had to travel from the north to Roseau for dialysis, I think 3 times a week. And so we wanted to assist him with his needs at the time, transportation and otherwise, and including his kids. And so we wanted to donate some additional dialysis machines to Dominica. And we raised, we set out a goal to raise $110,000 US. I think we came all the way up to $110,000 US. We had one person resend a $20,000 US donation, so we were around $90,000 US. And we were able to donate 2 dialysis machines to the Dominica China Friendship Hospital and 6 dialysis chairs. They were in much need for those dialysis machines. There were some that were not working at the time, and some of the chairs were in repair. I understand we have the best chairs there at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. So if you or a family, a friend need dialysis or is currently on dialysis, when you go up to the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, you may be on one of our machines there. And And we've done a lot more, but I will take a pause there for now, Simon.
Yeah. It's always good to remind folks. It's always good to remind folks of what we're doing at DISA Win. But as you're talking, I'm just thinking how we are growing from strength to strength, from where this organization started to now pretty much being a household name because of the White Sunset event. So I'm just thinking about how we continue to grow from strength to strength, and how this organization just epitomizes what it means when we talk about turning our passion for Dominica into our action for Dominica. Because we can talk until the cows come home, right? But if we're not putting the action, if we're not investing our skills and our talents into an organization like DISA, then we're talking just for talking sake. And that is actually one of the things I most appreciate about being in DISA. And one of the reasons I'm so passionate about being a member of DISA is the fact that we are doers. So yes, you may have folks from different political parties, different religious backgrounds, different educational levels, different economic status. But at the end of the day, we are able to set that aside and focus on the mission, which is to provide, to give back to Dominica, and not just give back to Dominica. Because when I think of giving back to Dominica, it almost sounds like passive, right? So you just give and you turn your back and you walk away. We're not giving back to Dominica. We're investing in Dominica. We're invested in the next generation of Dominicans, because we know that if not for Dominica, if not for Sifilco State College, whatever you want to call it, where might we have been? So what are your thoughts on that? The fact that we continue to grow from strength to strength. And yes, guys, we know we have to do the raffle, but it is so important to kind of put it all on the table, because I think this is a phenomenal organization, and we have to try to recruit the young ones, Wayne. That is one of the things we're kind of working on right now. How do we get those who are newly graduated from the state college to come on board with all their young and vibrant energy? So your thoughts, Wayne?
Yeah, I almost got disowned by my mother, because the first time I came down for year one, I probably saw her for 5 minutes. I saw her when I come and when I was leaving, because there was so much work to be done. And not only me, but I think everybody was really invested in getting the place ready and making sure we had a superb event. So we spent a lot of our time working and preparing, doing interviews, promoting the event, and so forth. And, because you are absolutely right. People can just give up their money and take a step back. But when you're involved, when you're doing it every day, we're having meetings very frequently for this event. We have to contact sponsors to try to help sponsor the event, to defray the cost of the event, and so forth. And it takes people who are willing to give a commitment of their time. And I must say, we have a great crew of people that do that. But you're right, we have to add to that. And while I'm still a very young man, we want to get more young men, younger than myself, on board. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Nope.
But I remember, the energy that I still have, but that I had 25 years ago or 30 years ago. We want to get people who are just new graduates coming into the organization, really at all through the decades. And we had an interview where we had a representative going all the way back to the 70s, I believe. And to have somebody representing each decade was really something special. And so we need to have more and more people from each decade, the young and the old, because there's something about learning about the history of Sifilco that really sort of inspires you to do even more. And so we need the young and the old, and we need the young people to carry on that legacy of the Dominica Sifilco Alumni Association. We haven't been around very long, so we've been around just a little over 3 years from inception when we got formed. We were registered nonprofit in Dominica and 501c3 in the US. And in 3 years, I think we've done quite a bit for Dominica, and we hope to do even more. And we want to be able to hand over the reins to young people who can continue doing as much for Dominica.
Yeah, and I think it's so important for them to join us now, Wayne, because I think we're seeing a state in Dominica where if you have opposing views, you cannot work together. So I think it is so important that our young people join us to see how you can have your own personality, you can have your own thoughts, you can have your own beliefs, but this is how you come together. And it is a great networking opportunity for them, Wayne, because I'm thinking about the symposium. I'm hoping we're not only going to do healthcare, but we're going to branch out into other fields. So you're going to be exposed to professionals in various fields. Even within DISA, we have professionals in many different skills. So if you're on the fence, you don't know, 2 years goes by so quickly, right? So by the time you join the state college, you should already be trying to link up with someone who's connected to DISA to figure out what your next step is. And we will talk a little bit more, once we do the raffle, we'll talk a little bit more about what is next for DISA. But I know one of the things we're going to try to do is have more of a relationship with the Dominica State College so that we get in there, we get in on the ground with the students, and we continue investing in them, speaking with them, providing mentorship opportunities so that we are creating a pathway for them for their future. So it's so exciting, Wayne. And to think in 3 years what we have accomplished. Can you imagine what 10 years will look like? You'll still be young, Wayne.
Correct. And not only that, with a younger force helping. Although, these, we have people all over the world, and when we have our meetings, people connect and they're all in different time zones. And so we connect virtually and are still able to maintain effectiveness. But you mentioned something about people on all different sides of the spectrum. We have people on all different sides of the religious spectrum, yep. And we have people on all different sides of the political spectrum. As a matter of fact, all the political leaders are pretty much members of DISA, yep. On every side of the spectrum. We do not talk politics or religion in our chat groups, but everybody comes together and get along and gets things done. So I know a lot of people are passionate about politics, and this is something that we don't get into, but we like people to put some of their passion into volunteering and helping Dominica do better. Because in every country, even a rich country like the US, where I live, and obviously Canada and the UK, there are volunteer organizations doing a lot of work to help their country. And so we see ourselves in that mold as non-political, non-religious organization doing as much as we can to help Dominica succeed and do better. The less fortunate, we think we can do a lot of them. And you talked about mentorship for a minute. When I came to the United States to study, I had to try to find my way on my own. I sort of stumbled around, picked and choose. Typically, you try to pick a university where you have family, where you can stay by somebody, and you try to pick a university that is cheap because nobody has money, and you got to go to Aid Bank to get a loan, and you have to go to Barbados to get a visa and all of that stuff. And I've learned so much of how this process could be better today than what I did, that where a student can really advance even further. Luckily for me and for a lot of people in DISA, we have been able to do well in our careers, despite the obstacles that we had in migrating to the US and Canada and Britain and what have you, the EU. So now that we have a little idea of some of the keys to make this process easier, we think we can help mentor the young people at the Dominica State College and people in high school. Because I will tell you that there are a lot of friends I have who did not go to Dominica State College who are very successful. You know, they went to high school, probably they didn't get their 5 subjects or what have you, and they still are success. There's some people who didn't even go to high school and they will still be able to come up here and elsewhere and still be a success. So in either way, we think we can mentor. So, you know, we don't want to just look at it as, you know, we can only help people as it relates to the Dominica State College. We want to help people across the spectrum do better. And Dominica is agricultural country. Most of us, our fathers or grandfathers or grandparents or parents are farmers, farm bananas, and you don't think you can necessarily finance college education and that. When you look at the schools up here, it's 20, 30, 40, 60, $70,000 a year to go to school, US dollars.
US. Do the math.
Correct. Most of us, our parents don't make that kind of money in a year. So it seems like an impossible dream to come to school, to up here to go to school. But it is possible. I'm here to tell you that it is possible. And we in Dominica, DISA, the Dominica Civic Alumni Association, can help mentor you and the young people, especially young people at this symposium. You see, so exciting to see so everybody excited about their careers and really ambitious and wanting to move forward, what their plans were. And we can help you in that process. You know, the STEM fields are great. We want to talk about that, but even some of the other fields are great. And you want to make sure, depending on that, what you invest in, it's an investment that you're going to have to pay for this college, that is going to be a return on that investment. But more than anything, you want to make sure you're passionate about that field that you're going into, right? Mm-hmm. And trust me, you can be successful, and you can always call on me or anybody in the organization, and they will certainly give you some words of advice to help you along that path.
Yeah, and towards the end, we'll make sure we provide an email address for anyone who wants to reach out. And I hope that everyone who's watching will share the program so that it can get to the young people. Because from what I hear, the young people are on TikTok, they're not on Facebook no more. Anytime the older people get to a platform, the young people disappear. That's what I've heard. So I'm hoping that those who are watching this program, if you know anybody of college age, anybody in the Dominica State College, yes, college age, high school students, and you know, when you're so correct, because a lot of us had to figure it out ourselves. I even had Dr. Gregory Vidal. He's like one of the top oncologists, and he's from Dominica. I had him on the program recently. And what a lot of people don't realize or may not think about is that once you get into the system, the hard part is getting into the system. Once you get into the system and you assert yourself, you work hard, you are diligent, you study, you're able to get scholarships from the university to the point where he got a scholarship to do his master's and his PhD. You know, so we have the information in terms of how we could do it, because I too didn't know where I was going to get 20,000 US a year. Right?
That's exactly right.
Get it out, and it's the onus is on us to help the next generation to not have to struggle the way we struggle by being alone, but being a part of a community that can help them to achieve their goals.
No, absolutely. There are scholarships of all kinds. There's scholarships by ethnicity. There are scholarships for academic excellence. There are scholarships based on need. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of the elite schools now, in order to have access, if your parents don't make a combined, I think $60,000 in many schools. You need to check out these numbers yourself, but as an example, $60,000 US dollars a year, they will finance 100% of your education. Now, I think in some cases you may have to be a resident or what have you, but a lot of people, and even in my case, choose a school, the cheapest school that they to go to, because they think that more expensive school is unattainable. Well, that's not always the case, because that more expensive school may provide more funds towards your education, and up to 100%, which means your cost to go to college could be cheaper than it would be attending a cheaper school, which does not have as much funds. So a lot of more elite schools have huge endowments and a lot of programs, a lot of their alum giving them a lot of money, and they can do more for their students and so forth. So there's lots and lots of things. It's just one aspect of that I thought I'd bring up here to just make a point. But yeah, we think we can do a lot in that regard. And whether through DISA, one-on-one, the whole idea is helping Dominica and Dominicans and Dominican students to do better and to succeed in life. And you're just passing it on. You're passing it on. You know, Sifakol was a really special time in my life. Just being in Dominica, high school, and my friends, you know, you go back a long way. My friends are my friends are my friends. You know, these are my friends. They go all the way back from Goodwill School. And you know, although we didn't have much, we certainly don't have what the schools in the first world countries have. Yet still, we have a lot of people who have succeeded at the top of their fields. So it tells you something about the institutions. It tells you something about the teachers. These were good teachers to really turn you out. And, you know, my mother was a teacher. And so sometimes when I go to class and somebody knows my mother, they're picking on you. You have to do good. You cannot just fool around. You have to attend class and do well in your subjects and in your tests. But yeah, it tells you that the teachers, they deserve so much because look at what they have done. You know, all the members of DISA and all the members are, you know, there are a lot of people who've gone to Dominica State College or Sifakol, even if they're not a member of an organization. You talk to people, you're trying to sell them a White Sunset ticket, and they're like, oh yeah, I went to, then you say, well, you need to come on and join, you know, and all of these people are doing great. And we want you to come on in and help us out and give back to Dominica and help the students be as successful as you are. You know, some people got scholarships. I have some friends who got island scholarships. People doing all sorts of things, and they can assist in huge ways. So you want to pay it forward, and that's what DISA is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we've gone from, you know, talking about fundraising to assist needs-based organizations in Dominica to now charting a pathway where we could potentially become the resource for higher education in Dominica, right? The go-to resource. You have a question about continuing your education. I mean, who do you go to? If I had a question about continuing my education, no, seriously, that's a serious question. It just occurred to me, Wayne. Who would I go to if I'm in Dominica and I had a question about continuing my education overseas?
Well, you know, I have actually, I'll say, let's say, friend, family member, what have you, wanted to come up here to go to school. So I said, okay, you save up some money, you come up here. We didn't go to sixth form college, and you came up here. The universities don't recognize the high school diploma in Dominica.
Right.
So I said, all right, this is what we're going to do. Got that person to register to take their GED. They don't even have to study. They took the GED exam, they passed, they used the GED exam to apply for a university, they got accepted. That person now has an MBA. They did an undergraduate degree and then they did an MBA. So I'm just telling you, the options are just, it's just, so there are lots of ways, and you can reach out to anybody and they can help you because they too have gone through the struggle to get up here one way or the other to make it.
So that's what I'm saying, Wayne. We're actually discovering a need in Dominica because luckily that person had you as a reference to reach out to in terms of what the next step should be, and even the thought of doing the GED. But in general, what if I don't know a Wayne Liebert? Right? What if I don't know a Simone Matthew? You know, what number do I call? What email do I send? So I think what we're saying is that we're recognizing that there is a need for that sort of resource in Dominica. And I hope that is something that DISA will actually consider formalizing, that where the resource, and you know, we have other projects that we're working on, but I think that one in particular is very important, that we become the resource, the hub, that when students want to think about studying, and I mean, we have members all over Canada, the UK, the Caribbean islands, the US. So we become the hub for when students have a question about studying beyond Dominica. So, when I could go on forever because this is my jam. I love talking about education and investing in people. So I could go
Well,
on forever. But go ahead, and then we're going to take the comments.
I'll give one little.
By the way,
Yeah.
Dr. Laura is on. He says, great program. Wayne and Simone like the flow. Hey, Dr. Kevin, what's up? So we'll take your comments in a little while. Go ahead, Wayne.
From the little classroom in Dominica, so I have a friend that we probably all know in DSA, and she's a member, Dr. Phaedra Centelaire, and she was traveling home to Dominica on vacation. Well, her husband, and Phaedra has a PhD in chemistry, her husband also had a PhD in chemistry and had just won the Nobel Prize for chemistry.
Yes.
And I contacted Phaedra, facilitated that that he could address the students at the Dominica State College. And you hear stories, probably like a Bill Clinton who said he shook John F. Kennedy's hand and that inspired him, to his future becoming a president. Sometimes just rubbing shoulders, listening somebody in your presence, telling you their story and how they went from, you don't expect to run in with a Nobel Prize in chemistry, a Nobel laureate, and so all these little things I think really inspire you to really move on. Myself, I had probably a 15-minute conversation with somebody, a teacher visiting from Guyana, and the time I wanted to study math, and he said, "Have you ever thought about computer science?" And from that day forward, I decided I wanted to study computer science, and that was in third form in grammar school. So just those little interactions itself can be huge inspiration. It doesn't even have to be over a period of time. Hopefully this program provides an inspiration to somebody listening. But you're right, DISA can be a good vehicle to inspire the youth to take that next step, to go for their goal, to reach out, and we can provide more information as necessary to help out. And I think, DISA can spread its wings in those directions. And obviously, being an alumni association, education is obviously really important to all of us. That's what brings us together at our core. Our bond at school, or friendship, those 2 years we spent in sixth form college. And I think we can keep on paying it forward to the other students in Dominica. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. But I think, Wayne, we've kept the people waiting for long enough. So let's get to the raffle. So I'm not sure how exactly you want to do it, but I'm gonna give you the floor, and you can go ahead and do the raffle.
So this year we had an online raffle, and for $20 US dollars. You could buy a ticket for online raffle, and the winner of the raffle would win a ticket, a credit up to $1,000, $1,000 US dollars from anywhere to anywhere, a ticket to anywhere that you wanted to go to on any airline. Unfortunately, we hope to have had that drawing at White Sunset in Dominica. And unfortunately, because of the exuberance at the time, everybody having such a great time, we did not have that drawing. I mean, Signal Band was playing and everybody was just partying. It would have been, probably our fans wouldn't have liked us interrupting the event anymore. To draw that raffle. So we decided we would just do an online raffle because it got late into the evening, and we with the help of Simone, we decided we'd do an online raffle. We do the raffle on her program. So I have a jar here, as everybody can see, that's filled with all the people who bought the raffle, and all the names are in there and their order numbers just in case. And we're going to draw somebody from this name. Obviously, you can see, I can see, I'll even turn my head when I'm drawing this name.
Wayne,
And
I
then
feel like we need a drum roll or something. Let me know.
we do.
Let me know when you want me to do the drum roll.
All right, so I'm going to put it, everybody can see that thing. I mean, oh, yes, everybody can see it. All right, and I'm going to go down there. I'm gonna put my hand around, and then I'm gonna come up with a name, and then let's see. All right, I have one. Boom.
Wait, my hands went limp. You took so long.
I wanted to make sure I shake it out.
Are you done?
I'm done. And the winner is Rosette Rabes.
Yeah.
Rosette, can you see? Rosette Rabes.
Slap in the comment section. Rosette Rabes, you've won $1,000.
$1,000 US.
Travel voucher.
And we have your email. We will email you, and you can collect your $1,000, probably a trip to Dominica for White Sunset 2025.
Absolutely.
So congratulations, Rosette. Thank you for supporting our online raffle. This was, I think people were kind of skeptical because some people came in to buy the ticket and they didn't, oh, could I buy a raffle at the same time? And we will probably do this again in the future. But we thank all of the people who supported us and bought the tickets for the online raffle. And Rosette, you're the lucky winner. I don't know if she's watching tonight. Is she watching tonight? Is she online?
No, I don't see anyone with that name. But if anybody knows her, let her know that she won her ticket. And if for any reason there's any issue, let her know. She can always email me. Let me just put my email address. I always like to just give a general email address where folks can reach me. So pushpast10, PUSHPAST 10 @gmail.com. So if for some reason, Wayne sends you the email, but your email address is not working, please, guys, listen very carefully. Let Rosette know she can send me an email at pushpast10 @gmail.com. If you wait 2-3 weeks and you still haven't received the email, it's probably because your email is not working. So you can reach out to me and I will be sure to link you up with Wayne so you can get your voucher. So Wayne, so that voucher is for anywhere in the world. So American Airlines, any airline?
Any airline,
Wow.
any embarkation point, any destination point, and you can go have yourself a great time.
Fantastic.
And depending on destination time, you get multiple tickets here at $1,000 US. But yeah, absolutely. And we so for $20, you just turn that into $1,000.
Yeah. And speaking of which, Wayne, I just want to make sure our organizations are ready. It's not too early to start preparing for next year, because I know of one particular organization that could have really benefited from the funds that we're raising from White Charity, but they missed the deadline. Right. So we have to speak about the importance of having your documents prepared. You have to, my husband says it all the time. If you stay ready, you never have to get ready. So keep your documents, keep everything that you need for a potential opportunity, keep it up to date so that when we announce that registration is open for applying for the funds from the White Sunset event next October, you have a whole year to prepare, right, Wayne?
That's correct. Yeah, and so the beneficiaries could get up to $10,000 from the event. And you're right. I had some people contacted me, including friends, who supported various organizations in Dominica and seeking sponsorship for some of the activities that they wanted to pursue, but it was too late. So we were really strict about the deadline. We had people who send in their application a day late, or the deadline was the deadline. We tried to make sure it was fair to everybody who had to go through the same process to prepare their paperwork and send it in to us. And then we obviously had people to review that. That took a lot of their time to review that and then make a recommendation to the committee and the committee to the board before selecting the two candidates. And so this year, you want to be prepared for 2025. You want to be prepared early. So now is the time to gather your documents so you can apply. We will make sure it's widely publicized on all the media channels in Dominica, so that you know when it's available and you can send in your application. Yeah. And so like us, you can help spread, you're talking about the economic impact on Dominica. You can have a greater economic impact on Dominica.
Yeah, and of course, another question that may come to our viewers and our listeners' mind, Wayne, is when can we expect to know who has received the grants?
So we have actually gone through the selection process already and selected the beneficiaries. We have not officially notified them yet. So they will be notified. The only one standing beneficiary is the Dominica State College. It's going to be one of the beneficiaries, and some 6 students from the Dominica State College with experiencing financial difficulty. You probably want to talk to the administration officials there now. Will benefit from $2,000 each to help meet that financial need. The cost of transportation, cost of books, cost of meals, all of those costs, some of those, sort of varying costs here. But I think that'll go a long way into helping them complete their years at the Dominica State College.
Yeah, and of course, once we've announced the other beneficiaries, we'll be posting it on Push Past 10, whether it's video, photos. So you want to make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you're following the page. We're so grateful. We're over 10,500 at this point. So we're very grateful for everyone who follows. And of course, we have tentacles in other pages. So we continue to go from strength to strength. So Wayne, always great speaking with you. Let's take a couple of comments.
And they should also go to, by the way, before I take some comments, to our Facebook page. Yes. and our website to find that information. That information will be there. And congratulations again, Rosette Rabes. Go ahead, Simone.
Yes, definitely. So thank you, everyone who joined us live and everyone who will catch the replay of this program. We are here with Mr. Wayne Liebert, the president of the Dominica Sipukal Alumni Association. We had a wonderful conversation about the highlights, about thanking the sponsors. The raffle, we only have one other point. I think we already covered most of it, and that is going to be what is next for DISA. But before we do, let me just acknowledge everyone who joined us live. You get Centilla, always wonderful to have you on board. She says good night to Wayne and Simone. And every time someone says Wayne and Simone, I think of my mother's 2 children. Because as you know, Wayne, my brother's name is Wayne. So every time I hear Wayne and Simone, I'm like, oh Lord, Medina's children. She says good night to Wayne and Simone. I have not attended White Sunset, but I'm listening. You need to be there next year. You will love it. Everlasting Peter, good stuff, one love. Then Yugat says, let's see what she says. Great work, Wayne, to give back to Dominica. Wow. And we're not saying give back anymore, we're saying investing. Marceline Edwards, good evening, Simone, Wayne, and the rest of the listenership. Glad to be connected. And then also adds, when I was young and strong, I volunteered at every chance I got. And I am still volunteering at 3 score and above 10. Not many volunteering now. We mentioned Dr. Laura, who's here, June Pascal. Good night, Wayne. Great inspiration. And then Marcelin says, big congratulations to the winner. So guys, thank you for joining us live. And please, we simply ask that you turn your passion for Dominica to action into Dominica by sharing this program, because we're trying to reach as many of our young people as possible so we can continue to invest in them. So when the time is quickly spinning on us, but I just wanted to find out, we talked about the mentorship program. Where do we go from here? What is next for DISA?
Well, we want to get a huge infusion of young alums from the Dominica State College. We think that's really important. We want to get more participation from our members, our current members. Like with a lot of organizations, you have a few people who are doing a lot, and we want to add to that. And we've gotten more and more people involved, and even at White Sunset, I saw everybody there like, oh yeah, I'm going to be doing more next year and so forth. So we're going to hold them to their commitment. However, a lot of our members obviously help financially with the organization when we have things that we want to sponsor, and we reach out to our members to help sponsorship. Perfect example was the youth symposium or any other project. Really, members generously give of their finances, and we want them to also generously give of their time. This is very, very rewarding, and it pays huge dividends for me. Just the satisfaction, networking with my friends and coordinating and getting things done. People putting their heads together and making it work. Working out disagreements when those come up, and just making it happen. And staying in touch. Because ordinarily, without DISA, you would not be in touch with everybody as often as we are. So that's really, really important. So come on board, and you can email me. My email address is wayne.liberd@sifacolalumni.org. And
Hold on. Wayne.liberd
at sifacolalumni.org. And I can certainly get you an application to register. You can also go to our website to get an application to register, which is www.sifacolalumni.org, and get an application there, or to contact us. If you click the contact us, you can send us an email from there as well, just in case you didn't get my email address. And we'll respond, get you registered, and be happy to have you on board.
Yes.
And come help us do great work. We started from nothing, just a few people getting together, getting their heads together at least once a week. I think we'd get together in a meeting, and then grew from there, got registered, and all of that's fun stuff. And we have a lot more fun work to do. We'll have a Saturday meeting at 12 o'clock, and the amount of people that will register is just phenomenal. Yeah.
And then we go till 3. But you don't feel the time. You really don't feel the time, because it's such a wonderful opportunity to work on something so positive that you really don't feel the time. And you're doing all your household chores. It's Saturday, so you're just listening in. No cameras on. You don't have to put on your makeup. You don't have to do your hair. You know what I mean? So just being able to connect. So again, Wayne's email address is Wayne, WAYNE .LIBURD. So Liberd is LIBURD at sifacolalumni.org. So again, just want to make sure those who will listen to this on my radio program will also have the information. So Wayne, fantastic being with you. As always, I could spend another hour on this conversation. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone who joined us live and who will see the program. Again, I am Simone Matthew, and here on Push Past 10, we continue to harness the power of technology, international radio, social media, and podcasts to leverage the expertise. And I think you can see how well we did that this evening, to leverage the expertise of our brothers and sisters at home and abroad for the benefit of Dominica and the Caribbean region. So Wayne, your final thoughts as we wind down.
Well, Simone, thanks for having me and having me really represent Dominica Civical Alumni Association and White Sunset on your platform and Push Past 10. It's been great. And in helping us spread the word of what we're trying to do and get more soldiers on our team to really build DISA and do more work for Dominica. We're really passionate about the young people in Dominica and their education and the less fortunate. We think we can fill a need there. And as many people want to do, there's so many people who are just proud to be Dominicans, and we are proud to be Dominicans, and we want to show that every day in the way we help Dominica. Help us help Dominica.
Yeah, and you know, people are often wondering about the fountain of youth. Wayne, I think we've discovered it. The fountain of youth comes from working with young people.
Correct.
So the
Correct.
fact that
Correct.
we're always investing in young people, they're always on our mind. It gives us the energy and the spirit to remain young at heart. So again, thank you for being here, Wayne. And I guess I will see you back in the WhatsApp group chat.
All right. Good night. Thanks.
All right. So have a good night, everyone. Thank you for being
You
here.
too.
Take care.
Okay.
I'll talk
Okay.
to you,
Bye.
Wayne. Take care.
Okay.